Charles Barkley.
One of the reasons I have not been a big believer in the Republican Party in the past, I think they divide and conquer.
He's got a lot of takes.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
He talks about the Muslim. To label all Muslims with a blanket, I think is disrespectful. Clearly, some of them are not good people. So every ethnic group got some fools. But to label all Muslims the same with a blanket as terrorists, I think that's disrespectful.
And knows how to garner attention.
Big sigh.
First of all, I'm just going to say this. If I see a black person walking around with Trump mugshot, I'm going to punch him in the face.
Charles.
No, Gail.
Charles.
Gail.
You really can't say that because, A, you don't mean that.
I mean that sincerely. I'm going to just tell you something.
And then you will be arrested for assault. And then what?
I'm going to bail myself out and go celebrate.
He tells it like it is.
Prayer? Let's pray together, may we? Yes. Father, your word says.
Amen. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Every time I hear the word conservative, it makes me sick to my stomach because they're really just fake Christians, as I call them. That's all they are. They want to be judge and jury. Like, I'm for gay marriage. It's none of my business if gay people want to get married. I'm pro-choice. And I think these Christians, first of all, they're not supposed to judge other people, but they're the most hypocritical judge of people we have in this country. They act like they're Christians and they're not forgiven at all.
And has his enemies.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
What America has become is poor people getting screwed by rich people. I think the biggest problem is I think the political system has become so big. You can be an independent, but the Republicans and the Democrats, they're so powerful, they've all sold their soul to special interest groups.
If I get a disease and I'm going to die, how about get Skip Bayless in here and I kill him live on national television?
On Inside the NBA, he also gives a lot of takes. A lot of takes. Sometimes awful, sometimes hilarious. On this subject, could Charles Barkley have been potentially right all along? That's what we're going to look into. Specifically on his rant about Galveston, Texas. Yes, Galveston, Texas. So after the New Orleans Pelicans lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder and on the brink of being eliminated from the NBA playoffs, Barkley would say, and I quote, "They didn't even try, man. We're not giving them no plane ticket to the beach. Send they blanks to Galveston, Texas, right where that dirty water washed up on the beach. They can't even get in no water." Now, the crew obviously loved it. Anybody who's watching this loved it because he knows there is no city that is safe from Charles Barkley's wrath. We just know this, okay? Shaq was rolling. Kenny was rolling. Ernie was rolling. Beyonce's mom was not rolling. She actually put it to a halt. She'd post on Instagram, in short, "Chuck, we don't play about Galveston, Texas. You better watch it, sucker. Our water might not be blue, but it is still the beach and we love it. In fact, what you probably don't know is it's an island." So Charles was like, whoa, hang on a minute. There were some reports that like Jay-Z encouraged this, but Charles was like, let's just put this to bed right now. Miss Knowles, he would say, on Inside the NBA, "I don't want that smoke. I don't want the Bayhive and Jay after Chuck. Just know I apologize. I do not want the Bayhive and Jay-Z after me." All right. So it wasn't just Tina Knowles. It wasn't just Jay-Z. It wasn't just Galveston. It was Galveston City Council member David Collins also weighing in on this. He would say, "Mr. Barkley, you used the phrase dirty water washed up on the beach. If anyone understands being washed up, it would be Mr. Barkley." All right, so here's where it takes a turn in Charles's favor, okay? On August 3rd of 2024, Click2Houston.com reported a public health alert was issued for Galveston, Texas, because of an increase in Vibrio bacteria infections, which is, per the outlet, a group of bacteria commonly found in marine environments. The Galveston Health District would put out this explainer.
Vibrio vulnificus is a bacteria that grows in the Gulf of Mexico, and it grows all along the Gulf. It's most common in the summer months when it's very warm, and that is when people are most likely to get an infection from it. People with underlying medical conditions such as diabetes, such as cirrhosis, such as cancer, HIV, or any other condition which would suppress the immune system are more likely to get Vibrio vulnificus. This risk is even increased more if there's a cut or a scrape on the skin, and if they go into the water, then they're more likely to get infected.
Who you saw was Dr. Kaiser, and the doc would say there is no need to panic, all right? There's no need to panic. He'd advise folks from staying away from raw seafood, use good hygiene practices, etc., etc. There is something, though, that is serious. If one were to get it, the symptoms would be low blood pressure, fever, diarrhea, which comedian Nimesh Patel says shows one's character, builds character, vomiting, and in a rare case, some folks could lose limbs. I mean, that feels serious. Is it a concern, though, Dr. Kaiser?
So, the question is it safe to go into the water? Absolutely. Millions of people come to the beach every year and have a great time without ever getting sick. However, if you are at risk for getting a Vibrio infection, be sensible. Don't go into the water with open cuts. And if you have any signs of an infection, seek medical attention immediately.
So apparently, it's not. Cover up the wounds, cover up the cuts if you have them, yada, yada, you'll be fine. So I guess the question is, does Tina Knowles now owe Charles Barkley an apology? Not that he would accept it, he would continue having fun with it, but I will guarantee in the first week that they are back, all right, he will address this. If he sees this clip, if he sees the headlines from Quick to Houston, if he sees the news at all, he is going to say something. Because if we know anything about Charles, Ernie, Shaq, and Kenny, it is this. They are your friends who will rib you and jab you and continue embarrassing you or embarrassing themselves for laughs. They are going to revisit this. And Charles is going to have his say. I now, however, leave it up to you. What do you say? And let me, very quickly, before we wrap here. Thank goodness Charles resigned. Thank goodness. Because I was having my doubts. With David Zaslav in charge, with the lack of a deal getting done, even though they say the money was there, it just felt off. And if this crew were not together, I truly don't know what us as NBA fans, as diehards, as consumers would do. Because look, this show is not going to give you analytics. This show is not going to break down a bunch of film, aside from when Kenny races somebody and probably one of these days, one of them is going to pull a hamstring going up to the big board. But this show is the most entertaining sports show on the planet. The Golazzo show, the CBS sports show with Kate and Jamie Carragher and Thierry and Micah, brilliant. It's second fiddle. It's close, but it's second fiddle. Because what they bring is something different. What they bring is entertainment. What they bring is laughs. What they bring is these guys not taking themselves super seriously. And it resonates with an audience that has a cult-like following at this point. There are clips online that go viral of them ranting about nothing. Shaq with the gas thing, where he wants to fill it up halfway and keep filling it up halfway. Charles talking about women in San Antonio. Shaq falling into a Christmas tree. Ernie quoting hip hop. Like, these are things that are irreplaceable because what they have that many other shows don't is not only camaraderie but longevity. and it speaks to their success. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.